So that's as clear as mud, Eatsy. I said a while ago I would share this. What happened? I want to share what happened in Eatsy chat with me just to show that you can't actually trust Eatsy chat. And I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to be mean to Eatsy chat people. That's really not a fair thing to do. And I won't show you my screen so that we're not outing any Eatsy chat person. But Eatsy chat used to be really good. Eatsy support. I used to be able to ask questions about rules and everything else, and they were able to reply to me, and I would be able to say, okay, that's the answer, because Etsy told me that's the answer. But I had a problem in the recent webinars talking about the gift mode. Now, everyone was excited, nervous, excited, talking about the gift mode on Etsy and wanting to know about it. So a lot of people joined in the webinars, and the webinars seemed to contradict themselves. So I urgently wanted to ask Etsy, what is the deal with all of that? So I thought I'd jump into chat. Now, I will say what I believe has happened is we all complained that there was no support for sellers. And in the pandemic, obviously, the number of sellers has exploded. There is too many sellers on Etsy just now. I think I can safely say that. So they hired in a lot of staff, and obviously these people can't be experts. They can't even be very good. They're support staff, and they'll be minimally trained, and basically they have a script to dig through. They have a sort of handbook of their own that they dig into, and maybe some people they can ask about, but in general their job is to answer questions, get people out the door. So they've got their script of rules that they dig into. And if that script isn't updated right, because there's some contradictions on the Etsy help pages, on the Ultimate Guide to Search compared to the legal things, it says contradictory terms that I've spoke to chat about, and they've said they'd get it fixed years ago, and they haven't. So there's some contradictory things out there. But, let's get it. And right, this isn't to brag. This is just to say that they went into this and they said that some items in my shop were against Etsy policy. And this kind of really annoyed me because um, I know enough to challenge them. I have been teaching people for years. I've worked with eRank for years. I've been an ETSU and an Etsy. What's the other thing? The more recent thing. But I have taught certain subjects on Etsy within Etsy. I'm not employed by Etsy, I have to say. Shop Camp, that was the other thing, Etsy Shop Camp. I've taught some things, I've had contacts within Etsy. My listings and what my presentations have gone through Etsy Legal, so I'm pretty sure my listings are not breaking rules. But someone else who was contacting Etsy Chat might not know this and might suddenly change their whole shop. So what it was, let's go into this. So I reached out to them with a hello there. I'm a little confused about copying listings, duplicating listings. I've been watching the recent webinars, and in the first gifting webinar, it was recommended that a listing could be duplicated and put into a gift section in your shop. I don't think it wasn't in the webinar actually. I've later on in the chat, because I was bored waiting for them, I found the actual article. It was written in an article. Etsy said you could duplicate your listing and put it in a gift section in your shop if you had listings that were suitable for one section and another. But in Thursday's nearly a month ago, in Thursday's Google SEO webinar, it was said that duplicated listings can cause issues with Google and Etsy SEO, and it was not recommended to have the same item duplicated in 2 or more listings. Can I please have some clarification about this? So obviously, I had to go through the bot, first of all, tell them what I wanted, tell them that no, you haven't answered my questions. I still need more help, connected with an agent. So took a while to get through to the agent. I'm not going to tell you her name. Please allow me a few minutes while I catch up. Absolutely. Do you mind waiting a couple more minutes while I take a look? Please allow me a few more minutes while still looking into it. So I was really happy with this, because usually what has happened when I've spoke to chat in the past is I get the person, I'll get some generic replies, and they'll say, looking into it, looking into it, looking into it. Do you mind if I go away, find the right person to talk to you, and they'll email you? And they get back to me with an email in a couple of days. But Etsy doesn't seem to email anymore. The one person that got in touch with you seems to stick with you, and they don't necessarily know enough about what they're talking about. And it's not their fault. That's a training issue. But finally, thank you for waiting. I was checking for more information within the policies. Great, I've read the policies too. I wanted to let you know some important information. So within Etsy, actually, the duplicated feature was created mainly. So if you want to create a listing that's similar to the one that you already have, you can duplicate it and modify it. For example, I see you sell, they went into my shop, I see you sell custom needle items, needle felted, darling. And I think this is great, and I congratulate you. Oh, a little patronising, that's cute. Well, a little buttering you up because I'm just about to say bad things. I think you're doing very nice things. So the example I want to give you is that you have just that if you have some items that have the same dimension, then you duplicate them, but edit the content, but better the dimensions. Interesting English. For example, the reason for this is if you duplicate the listings, then the system may consider that as a duplicated shop, and this type of shop is not allowed within Etsy. So basically, the first answer she's saying is, my custom needle felted dogs, I can't have them duplicated as at the same size. I can't say a custom needle felted border collie and a custom needle felted wire hair terrier. And she carried on with, this causes the views to also be affected and more of your listings to appear and not the options of other sellers. Yes, but that's what SEO is about. I'd recommend you take a look at our policies so that you have a little more context about duplicated shops. Now, I don't believe having more than one listing in the same shop is a duplicated shop. I read the article I had read the article that she linked to before, and it's talking about duplicating a shop, having a different shop so that your items are seen. So thank you for the link. But I'm talking of listings within the same shop. The first webinar recommended duplicating listings to put them in a gift section, but the last webinar said that duplicating listings in the same shop negatively impacts Etsy and Google SEO. So this is a thing I've found when you're dealing with customer support people. Thank you. I repeat what I'm saying because you were wrong. And also, the thing is, I was just saying, one place on Etsy said we want to do this. The other place said it hurts the SEO. She's came back to me and said it's completely against the rules. It's not. Yes, this is because... Oh, hang on. Yes, this is because I assume she means those, shops are considered as duplicated shops. And this can be taken as a manipulation of the system to get more visits and sales. Not how it works. Anyway, so I'm sorry, I don't understand. Are you saying copying a listing within one shop is considered a duplicate shop? She gets back to me. Correct. As I mentioned, this feature was created to make an easier way to create a new listing that might have the same dimensions, for example, but it has to be a different product. So I said, so the advice in the first webinar wasn't it was in the webinar, but anyway, I didn't remember at this point. So the advice in the first webinar would be advising sellers to break Etsy policies and Are my listings breaking Etsy policies? I've never seen any rules explaining this. I remember in the past Etsy articles, it said you could have more than one listing to experiment with different SEO, so long as you had more than one of the item able to sell. And here, sure, and it can be that way, but the listings can't be duplicated. You can't have two listings from the same item, as this can be considered as a duplicate shop. Is the advice from the first webinar against Etsy policies? Because quite often they answer a lot of flowery stuff. I'm just like, answer this very specific question. So I couldn't give you an opinion on the webinar as I don't know the contents. The information I've given you is how the Etsy system worked and is only for your consideration. Excuse me, she's making me choke. So again, very specific questions. So what exactly is considered a duplicated shop? Okay, so let me explain this to you. So the duplicated shops are considered this way for two reasons. The first one would be because they have more than one repeated listing. For example, it is like you have the same shop, 3 listings of, and I've got 2 needle felted dogs large size and 2 needle felted dogs small size, and the system doesn't allow this. They're different listings. You're going to be able to duplicate them, but maybe at some point the system will bounce the listings you've repeated, and the second way in which a shop can be considered as duplicate is if you open a second shop and sell exactly the same as you have in your first shop. While she was typing all this, I found the article, but basically she's picked out 2 of my listings that they're not identical. I've copied them and adapted them, and it is because it's custom things, that it's not the same item, because every item is going to be different. So I was getting quite annoyed at her because she was giving some terrible advice. So I linked her. I said, this directly contradicts this article on Etsy. Linked it, and it's a Salah Handbook article. And I quoted what it was saying. Add a shop section for your most giftable items. Help buyers discover the great gifts in your inventory by making an easy to browse shop. Section. Want to put an item in more than one section? Create multiple listings. Is that article breaking Etsy policies? So that's in the seller handbook. That is exactly the words it says. So yeah, and then this is where, wait, you're going to love this. Okay, in this case, when adding shop sections, you're not duplicating the listings, you're adding them to a section. And within the section, they can be duplicated, but they're going to be just one listing in different sections. So I had to say, I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. It would be 2 of the same listings in one shop. No, because you can't put one listing in 2 sections. You have to have a different listing. But it's still going to be just one listing. You're not going to be duplicating it. It will appear, for example, where it says all, and where it appear on the section that says custom, for example, but still one listing. Yes, it shows in all and custom, but it can't show in custom and gifting. So, no, it literally says to create multiple listings. You can't put the same listing in 2 sections. You have to create 2 listings and put one in each section. All is not a section, it's just all of your listings. That article is talking of having your listings in more than one section. Here's her reply. If the information in the article is accurate, you may consider replicating your listings and distributing them across various sections to optimize your shop for improved sales and increased visitor engagement. Does that not entirely exactly contradict? You may consider doing this to optimize your shop for improved sales. But did she not say earlier on that you can't do this because it would optimize your shop? Anyway, So then I said, okay, so you can have more than one of the same listing. You can. Hello, did you reset, little robot? But you just said that would be considered a duplicate shop, which is against the rules. Now, I she never said sorry at any point. Based on the database, it does appear that way, but it looks like there might be some information that requires updating. Is there anything else you need assistance with? I try and not flog a dead horse too much, but this is too contradict. This is basically saying, "Hey Pam, your entire shop is against Etsy policy." So I replied with, "So your answer to me was incorrect based on incorrect data, which is not your fault. I'm just trying to understand. So we can have more than one of the same listing in our shop. And does this hurt the SEO of the listings, as that's what was stated in Thursday's webinar? Or is it possible that the presenter was also using advice that needs updated?" Correct. You can have more than one of the same listing in your shop. Ooh. And does duplicated listings hurt your SEO? Um, if the article says it's allowed, it shouldn't affect it. So basically, I'm just going to leave it there. Let me know in the comments what you think of that. Getting a straight answer is hard. Yeah, bye.